Monday.
Is it Monday? I have no idea. My schedule is so busy, I lose track.
Yeah, I bet. It's a life of the rich and famous, just lounging around by the pool.
I wouldn't know.
No.
Far from rich and far from famous, so that's all right. I'll hide in my own little corner of the world and be happy.
Yes. Happiness, that's all that matters.
Yeah. So how's work keeping you busy, occupied, I guess? I imagine for you. Mondays would probably be a nightmare after everyone's cars broke down on the weekend.
Mondays can be hectic. Workshops get bombarded, tow-ins rock in, and all the action begins. And I don't know, everyone decides if they're going to do something, let's do it Monday. Let's organise the week. So Monday is a nut house, which can be fun. Hectic morning and an average afternoon, so not a bad day.
That's right. As long as we're making some dollars.
Had some weird bloke come visit me today too.
You must have been lucky. He must have been a good weird bloke.
Mate, he's a strange man, but he came bearing gifts, so I was happy to see him.
Lots of gifts. Hundreds of gifts.
Many gifts and a snake. Hey, mate? Yes. What a guy.
What a pretty snake too.
Yes.
It was bigger, but anyway.
Mate, this is what it lacks in size. It's got plenty of ability and plenty of good looks going on.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, sure, it'll be a good addition to the family. Same.
Very good.
And I heard he picked up some nice critters too. So
that guy picked up a few as well. So it wasn't a bad deal. 1 for 3. It was not a bad score.
That's it. So we got tonight, mate. So it seems that we've had a role reversal from this year to last year. Last year it was me banging out clutches every 2 days, and now it's your turn.
Yes, I'm a little scared. So they're coming thick and fast now. I think there's 1 or 2, and then a couple of day gap, and then like 3 or 4 in a space of a few days. So must have been good breeding weather all in one little block there for a second.
Yeah, funny how that happens, isn't it?
It's weird, that they're in little clumps like that right through for the next 2 months. Just a week gap, then 4 in a row, and then a week gap and 4 in a row. She'll be pretty wild for a while.
Yeah, it's almost like the community gets right, everything goes on, the girls go right now, and a batch of them does it all at the same.
Yep.
Scotty Fark, Mr. Deeb, Mr. Muzz Williams, sorry, buddy. Miss Fletcher, Brendan Shepherd, Scotty Reed, the Granites. Oh, mate, almost as
Scotty
good
boy.
as
Wouldn't it be cool if they were compatible? Hey, that'd be fun.
Hey, geez, it would be. Soon.
We'll find it.
Yep. Soon, some people will be eating their words, I'm sure. Might be us. Hope not. But anyway, so you got a couple of clutches tonight. So 2 as opposed to once every few weeks from last year. So what goodies do you have
Granite
tonight?
City.
Granite City.
Yeah, tonight one that I do every year is my double head Granite Albino girl, my OG, one of the 2 OG girls. So she was originally paired way back in the day to a Jaguar double head boy, but he's been superseded over the years by several things. But these days, due to get a little bit of variety, I'm using a Granite head Albino boy with the double head girl. So it gives me a nice mix of clutch, because funny enough, people are always saying, why don't you just do Albino Granite or Granite to Granite? You just can't sell that many of those animals. So using these different combos, I can get, half a clutch of Granites, and everything else you can sort of pick and match. You'll get head stuff in there. Other clutches I'll get double heads in. You need a little bit of variety to suit what people want as well, So you got to try to, mix and match it to suit.
Absolutely. That's a big difference. Not everyone out there has deep pockets. Not everyone's out there with the big dollars to buy the big stuff. So having a balance, I'm the same. I like to do, even something visual to double head, something like that, just so you do get a mix up. Not everyone's all looking for the same thing. So it's nice to have that mix of options. So just a few more hellos, right? Scotty, Julian Hutchin, Gaz Langley, Zach Dixon, everybody. Chris Fletcher, better technology tonight, Brent.
Oh, mate.
It's noticeable, though. Look at that, eh?
Me and my mate Dazza finally got, I don't know how, on the weekend, an hour or 2 or whatever it was, in between everything to play with technology and sort some shit out. So we got lights. Check this out for technology, eh? Hey,
Look at that,
we,
Brent's moved into the new world. A microphone
gotta,
you can all hear and clear as day.
we got proper sound, we got proper light, we got everything, mate. So
Yep.
yes, Mr. Bowen, that's a radio head. That's why we cut snakes. No one wants to see our head. So
That's exactly right.
just the start.
Stuart looks like a busy season already. It's going to be a Brent. Brent's done my trick. Last year I had a huge season. Now it's his turn, and mine's a little bit smaller, so this should be good.
Yep.
Julian Hutcher reckons there's going to be a chicken popping out of one of the eggs. Oh, well, one day, who knows?
Be interesting. My Lacey's would love it. They'd be very excited for that.
Yeah, that's it. Brent's Dragon, all good. Yeah, so Brent's got himself the new laptop. He's got the microphone and I think the camera. So we get camera's coming. We're going to organise a camera. I think.
Yep.
Proper like streaming one.
Come along, mate. We're sorting our life out slowly. It's taken some time, but we just, funny enough, some of the stuff we've had for a little while, you just need time to play with it, set it up, and make it work. So once it's going, it's cool, but it's it's that factor of time that's not my friend. Yeah,
that's exactly right. Chris Sankey, g'day, buddy.
Christopher.
Elizabeth, Tanya Wood, evening. So, Brent, you notice Brent's only got one camera tonight. Normally he has two, but that's another little thing we're sorting on. So Brent will be switching to cutting the eggs in a sec. But as we all know, we're all watching that anyway, and what we do on the side doesn't really matter, so not going to miss anything.
So we can swap to that one and back again.
Yeah, I can make that bigger when we need. So what you've got two clutches. So which is the one you've got there? Which clutch is that one?
That's the double head one. She laid 26. I think there's 22 still good. So 4 going off. Not all bad, not all good. You don't mind a few going off, and certainly those bigger clutches, you can afford a few to disappear, and that happens. With any clutches, you always lose 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. So 26 is a great number from her. She's always good for mid-20s. She's a big girl, so happy she bumped out a decent sized clutch. And the other clutch is my last visual albino POS het Granite to prove out. Paired to a Granite Jag head albino. So it'll, being albino, we should see at least some albinos, but the POS het Granite bit will be the interesting bit. So there was one brown head out there before, so it wasn't a Granite, but we'll see what pops out. So she's a 66 POS het. Shouldn't be that hard, surely.
Well, with your odds, she's 100%. You don't have to cut me.
May as well, but she's back from the old days of one of the head-to-head pairings. So 66s, it's only 33% chance she doesn't get it right. So we'll see.
Definitely. All right. So your first one, that's a double het Granite albino across a Granite het albino male, yeah?
Yep, little male boy. He's done a couple of seasons. He knows what he's doing. So
it's funny, once they get that first season tucked away in under their belt, they certainly know what's going on for the following one, don't they?
They work it out quick, and that's often the drama. They're quite small and young for the first season. They're a bit hit and miss. I've got a little caramel double het Granite albino boy that had very mixed results on 3 clutches, but it seems like the year after, with a bit more size, and they work it out a little bit more, they get a lot better results.
Yeah, a little bit of experience under the belt.
Yes, they know where it's at.
So Justin Norman, Nick Tonaguzzi, hey mate, Jared Charles, hey guys, let's get cutting the eggs. No, Brent and I are far more interesting to look at.
Darren's entertaining us all for a while.
Yeah, Dennis Bolt, g'day Dennis. All right, switch over, mate. We may as well see as we've got a few to get through.
We better please Jared, Mr. Sharpie, just not to be not entertained.
Yes. Don't want to see my big ugly head. There we go.
All righty, I'll pull this over here. If I can, we can even move the microphone, mate. It's extreme level technology.
Yeah, it's amazing how good it is once you start getting the gear and set up.
Yeah, making things work. All right. So we should be seeing
a couple of heads poking out.
What should we be seeing, Daz? Granites? Maybe albino granites?
Maybe. Well, that'd be the goal, wouldn't it?
Yeah, a couple would be all right. That looks like a granite straight up, I think. For a little head poking out. Fairly known outcome in this, but it's just a matter of beating the odds, I suppose, of what you get and how many.
Yep.
That indeed is a very nice little granite to kick off.
Very nice. Yep. Probably bring it up a bit closer. See how it goes. We'll try and get that distance worked out.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's focus there. Nice. That looks good. It's another one of the things we're trying to work out, trying to make the animals look like what they actually do and get the right focusing on them. So playing with Brent's camera, we're getting there with that.
Yep. Are we betting on this one, Daz? You care to put a bottle on granites versus not granites?
Oh, is that how it's going to be? Granites versus non-granites?
Well, I suppose. What do you want it to be?
Oh, what's your gamble? So what do we got? We got a 50-50 option, don't we?
Pretty much, yeah. Any granite, so granite or albino granite. And 22 eggs, so we should see 11 technically.
All right. Well, I'm going to be your friend. I'm going to say you're going to get more granites than wild types.
You would. All right. Since the first one, the granite, so
might even it up. You owe me a bottle, so
yeah, that's right. That's right. Fair call. All right. Well, one up, one granite out. So
and not only that, it might mean you might have my luck and have a lot of wild types.
So 11's a draw. 12 granites you win. Anything?
Yeah, 11's a draw.
Under. Oh god, that's another granite.
Is that another one?
I didn't think that was either. I saw that brown tip of his nose.
Yeah, and you're like, sucker.
I was like, yeah, there's his head right there. Anyway, but definitely granite.
Yep. Gorgeous.
Nice.
The reds and oranges coming through them are quite nice, aren't they?
You get a lot with that. That's as Darwin's. You would have seen plenty over the years. You get that real ready hypo sort of look coming, some that fades away very quickly. Or
they develop their adult colours and some melanin start to come through. Yeah,
and then suddenly they're just normal brown snakes again.
That's it. It's got Pete Morgan, Tony Hawk, Tony, Chloe Shaw. Good luck. Keen to see these Brents. This Chloe, Katie Gordon, Daniel's Gamble. One little head out already. Yeah, a few there. So that's the bottle challenge, Gaz. So is it Wildy, that one?
Albino Wildy.
Albino Wildy. Yeah.
Nice bright colour. Very bright.
Lady Chapman apologises for being late. There's no excuses, mate, unless you got a late note.
Yep, struck off the list. Not in the VIP area next time.
Yeah, that's right. That's quite nice, isn't it?
It's very bright. You get that occasionally. It might be the IJ blood in the albinos. Some of them just come screaming out with crazy colour early. So,
yep.
Pretty.
Still a wild type though.
One for Team Wildy. You got crickets, you drew us, mate.
I can eat crickets too. Is it yours? There's none here.
Well, it could be mine. Maybe it's picking up from outside.
Stop feeding snakes crickets, mate. What are you doing?
Sorry. That's the trick, mate. Makes them grow big and strong.
Yeah. Richard Date, a bit late, but here. That's good. Welcome along. Stuart Gamble, my wife and I are having shots on granites and wild type. One of us are going to be asleep before the end of the show.
Shots on granites, 2 down. It's going to be messy. There's going to be a few tonight, I've got a feeling.
Oh, no, there's another Wildy.
That's a Wildy. Full brown Wildy.
It's funny, Brent and I have actually talked about doing that, haven't we?
Doing an uncut, adults-only version.
Yeah.
It'd be like a regular phone call, maximum abuse.
Yes. All the abuse.
Oh, what do you know?
Oh.
One for Team Granite.
Yay.
Take that shot. Take the shot.
Very nice. That looks nice. Not quite as orangey as the other one. It's almost faded.
Nah, it's got still a little bit of the sack stuck over it, which is making it look a bit dull.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yep. No, yep.
We get rid of that.
Yeah.
So, yes, but definitely I'll try and look in there a bit better. Yeah, not as much red as some of you get those other ones that have a lot more.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Bit of variation.
So how do you find them as they age, mate? Since you've probably produced more than most people now with the granites, you know,
Yep.
the red ones are become a more visually appealing animal, so to speak, as an adult, or you know,
I think
once they get
so.
to that stage, you can't really tell. There's not a huge difference.
Yep. I think the red is a lack of pattern, so that's more of the base color of the snake coming through. So
Yep.
that basically, as they get older, they're that more exploded sort of look. Granite, you know, they're much lighter, which end up a lot more gold pouring through on
Yep.
them. So
Yep. Fair enough.
as they get older, that's what I've sort of been basing it on. Looking back through the pictures of the holdbacks and comparing them, that reddy color is generally just a lighter snake, which is better in the granites. Anything with a darker, heavier pattern tends to not be as scattered in pattern later on.
Yep. That looks like a win to you, that one.
That is Team Wild Type all the way.
Not the way.
Not the green snot on the side of the egg.
Well, no. Still looks like a decent hatchie. So Phil Ollerton has a question. Do you worry about diseases when you first open the eggs?
Not really, because they slit and sit in the eggs anyway. I clean my hands in F10 before I touch any of this stuff anyway, because they basically go back into the tub for a few days from here to rest and come out of their own accord. So as long as everything's clean, I F10 the scissors. Everything's clean and sterile before playing with anything. So
yeah, but no, so you got no risk there. We're just speeding up the natural process and making sure that any that might have an issue getting out have the opportunity to get out by pipping them. But yeah, they're all pretty well protected in here. Oh, that looks like Team Me.
Damn you,
Yeah.
Darren.
Yeah.
That indeed. Nice little granite.
Jeez. Well, they're going to complain when you get all excess granites in the clutch. I'll always get the excess wild types. I think I'm just gambling all the wild types in all my clutches in the future.
He's far from ready. You see his egg yolk. Egg sac there. Very, very still very attached. Definitely don't want him coming out. You stay back in your egg there, little fella. It's definitely not time to be out partying with that sack still attached.
Yep. So like you can see, Brent, here, normally we wouldn't cut the eggs this much. We often normally say that during the show. So normally we wouldn't cut the eggs quite this wide when pipping them. Just enough to open the egg up, make sure they got a room to get out, to poke their heads out when they're trying to get out. And normally give them a little touch, make sure they're still kicking. But we mainly do this to show everyone.
Easy, fold them back up, back to sleep. So
yeah, once he's tucked back into his thing, he'll happily just sit there, and another 24 hours he'll be out.
So 4 granites, mate. You going all right?
Oh, that's good. Katie Gordon, I can already see I'm going to be naughty again this season. Send the granites. Hashtag send the granites.
show restraint, Katie. We had this talk.
Yeah.
Gotta be strong. That's hard, I know. As I got a new snake today. Yeah, show restraint. Show restraint.
Oh, the ghost it was too.
That's beautiful, Ghost Bradley. From the one and only Mr. Whitaker.
Yeah. That looks quite nice. Yeah. I don't know whether it's just a colour, but it looks like quite chocolatey.
Yep, he is a bit of a lighter colour. He's nice. So one for me.
What's that? Is that like even Stevens at the moment?
That is 4 and 4, mate. Right on the money. I'll take this one from up the back here because I can see his head and he looks like a wildie, so I'm going to try and get in front of him.
Oh, you're pushing the boundary. That's not very nice.
Well, then I don't know. Like at the moment, I've got that up there as a backup, but now we're not going to know anything. So, and indeed, he's a wildie.
Wildie.
Stay in there, Philip.
Cool.
Get in there, boy.
Katie says restraint. I don't know her. Me neither, Katie. I don't know her either. I didn't think there was such a thing. Melissa.
She's out there somewhere.
Sorry. Yeah, she says no such thing as restraint in the reptile world. Yeah, it's exactly right.
No, definitely not.
Only restraints keeping them in the cages.
Oh, there's the big one.
Ah, yes, that must be mine.
That is, it's from your team. That's the ultimate prize one, Albino Granite.
Yep, I'll keep that keep the bottle. I'll just take that.
That's top dog in this clutch.
Yep, the Albino Granite. That's the winner. Beautiful.
Not bad at all. Nice, fine little patterns on him too. That's his head right there.
Yep.
Let's get a head far enough up. He'll be right to go.
Yep.
I'm happy for you to have that one, mate.
Thanks, mate.
They're beautiful.
Shane Scarf, g'day, mate. I hope you're doing well, buddy. It's been a while since I've seen you. We rotate, actually, Shane. So Shane's asked the question, why does Brent do the cutting and not Darren? And that's because this is one of Brent's clutches hatching. When mine hatch, I'll do the cutting at my end. So it's just it depends on whoever's clutch it is that's pipped on the day. So
Brent had too many.
Yeah, Brent bred too many this year, mate. That's one of your collection.
Yeah, it is. Brent had a bad moment in maths and thought a few extra clutches won't hurt this year.
Brent had an oops.
Then all of a sudden, those few extras all seem to perform along with the other normal 20, 25 that perform. So,
yeah
we're having a fun season here.
Get in there. Jared Sharp, new snakes. I only got like 15 new ones to rebuild with this year. That's 15 more new ones than I got.
You got 3 today, mate. That's a start.
I did get 3 today. Lovely little purebred lice.
Jared's 15 new ones, mate. That would be a beautiful start. 15 of the best, no doubt. Would be some cool stuff in there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Not just a straight little albino.
It is. Yeah.
Light on the sides too, but
yeah, it's always got some nice colour in there.
Always variation.
Yeah, definitely. Shane, man, it's all I mentioned changed since your days. It's changed a lot, mate. If that's what you mean, Shane. Yeah, it has changed. Back in the days of just blonde max and Womers.
Simple locality stuff, which was always cool. Always variation, but these days it's like a candy store with some of the mixed gene clutches.
Yeah. And go back then, I'm going back like 20 years. I mean, Shane's blonde max were just the duck's guts. They were the most stunning blonde max. Even the blonde max I breed today have some of Shane's line in it from back then. So
from way back in the day.
Yeah, beautiful blondes. Not saying anything else is bad. They were just stunning, gorgeous blondes. Had some nice stuff back then, Shane. Jared saying most of the stuff are from us. Brent.
Yeah.
That's no good, mate. That's wild type. It's got some cool, funky patterning on it, though.
It is some weird. You get those with the bigger, blotchy sort of pattern in the albino. They just turn out albinos, but they get a little bit of a weird patterning.
Yeah.
Definitely not from the Darwin side of things. So.
Yeah,
but wild type, mate. Wild type, 8-5. Suddenly.
I'm going to lose now.
Oh, there's plenty of eggs here, mate. What have we got?
Jeez. Chris Rice says, some I had to feed some reptiles. Mate, you know how important this is? Like, reptiles, feed them later, mate.
Don't worry, mate. There'll be another clutch in a day or two.
Yeah. Donna Bennett says, Shad, thanks, Donna. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming along. All right. I'm sure you're cutting them like that just so you can have a sneak peek before like you. Oh, that's one for me. Yes.
That's Team Granite for Desert. Get rid of that little sack there. Sorry, buddy.
Good looking critters, aren't they?
Beautiful. Nice little fella. Very broken up pattern too. It's very exploded already, that one on the top of the head.
Yep.
Very granity head pattern. Brings you up to 6, Daz. You're lurking.
Just hanging in there.
Yeah, we'll go up. This one's got some slits in it. We'll take from the back.
What did you see? A wild type head poking out of that one?
No, I can't see anything, but it's going to take all the possibilities of what I can see out of the game in case it gets real close. No, damn it. It's a Granite.
Yes. It's quite darker on the head compared to the other ones.
Definitely. That's one of the more darker ones that I talked about, a much darker head. That's much like in that clutch we cut the other night, a very, very dark on top. Yeah. Still it exploded on the body and a little bit lighter down the sides, but
Yep.
Yeah,
So is there
very
something like we often talk about polygenic projects and stuff like the striped albinos, and I was hatching the other night. You think something like that? Have you thought about working on some of those darker type granites in albino to try to make some of the, potentially a little bit more red, so to speak, like you get in the breadlie albinos and like some of the MD albinos that I've got and stuff like that?
Yep.
You ever thought about trying to work on that line, or is that something you're working on, or
Absolutely.
just still early days yet?
No, definitely. Like even from the early days of the albinos I got, there was a very, very big difference in some that are really high white, with very fine yellow speckles, to some that were extreme high yellow.
Yep.
We almost lost most of that granity pattern. So obviously took it in both of those directions to try and explore to make more lighter line and a more heavier line in the albinos. It's a little wild type.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's
sure if this guy's
it's looking a bit pale. I don't know whether that's just the pattern in it or whether he didn't quite go the distance. Still kicking, or?
I don't think so. I think this one might be a DOA.
Yeah, he's a DOA.
He doesn't look good.
Nope.
Smells a bit, that egg too, and he's died very late term by the look of it. The egg was a bit sunken in on one side. I don't think it's caused him any cut off of circulation, but yeah, it can happen. I'll sit him back in.
That's the realities of how it goes.
It is. That's
why they have so many eggs.
Yes, nature being nature.
Yep.
That's why she laid 26, because sometimes that happens.
Yeah, that's it. Donna Bennett's saying middle one next, Brent. I'm not sure whether that's middle at the top. I guess that'll do. It's in the middle. Miss Donna Bennett. I missed the other lives. Had no net. Not missing this one. Oh, that's good. Chris Fry, Priority Daz was listening but couldn't say anything with dirty hands. Oh, that's fair enough, mate. It's all right. I'll excuse you for that. I know. I know what it's like when you're feeding covered in garbage.
Yep, gets messy at times.
Yep.
Or do you want to go touching everything either after you've been covered in rodent mess?
No. That's another Wildy for yours.
Team Albino for the win.
Yeah.
Wildy Albino, that one alive and well. The head in there. You can see the head there just poking up.
Yep. Nice little Albino 100% at granites.
Always a nice animal.
Yep. Beautiful. So, Phil Alton, as breeders, how do you prefer to sell your snakes? Do you wait to advertise what's left after your holdbacks, or do you prefer people ask you early and you take orders? Well, I'll let you answer that one first if you want, Brent. What do you do?
Well, the policies keep the best, sell the rest, obviously. You get to pick your own holdbacks. So I'm certainly happy if people are interested in something, they can let me know early and I can let them know when things are ready. I used to do holds, and waiting lists, but gave up on that. It's just a nightmare. I can't keep track of it. And over the years, I've had, spent a lot of time trying to go back to people that aren't ready. So now I just tell them, look, I'll cut most of them live. If you see something you like, shoot me a message. I'll put your name on a tub. When something's ready, I'll let you know. So it's the easiest way to do it.
It looks like one for my collection.
That certainly is a Granite special for Team Deza.
Oh, geez, we must be getting pretty close to being even Stevens here, are we?
I think you're still behind. What do we got? We got...
I'm 2 behind.
10 to 8.
Oh, geez.
10 wildies.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same, Phil. Like you said, when you breed them all, you get to pick and keep the best. So... And before we move them on, it could be 6 to 12 months, depending on what it is that we've hatched, just to see how things colour up. So, but yeah, I mean, if people are interested in stuff, we always get messages all the time. So, if we know people want stuff, the same is best to message and then best to follow it up, because a lot of people, as Brent was just alluding to, I used to keep lists and everything, and understandably, some people come along, they want to buy it now. When you don't have it now and it's not going to be ready for 3 months, they go find something else. And then when you go, it's ready, and you start chasing people back up, they've bought elsewhere because they didn't want to wait, which is everyone's individual prerogative. Yep. So, most of the time nowadays, it's like, give it a couple of months and let me know if you're still looking. I'll see what I got. So,
Yeah,
Some people don't have the patience, I guess.
No, but if someone's happy to wait a couple of months, and I tell them all to message me in January, by then they're all out and feeding. I can get some individual picks and sort of narrow the field down a little bit for you. So if they're happy to wait, then they can get into the front of the queue of what's out there.
That's it. Not a little wild type or albino version of it.
Albino. I was just trying to find the head on. That's a huge sack.
It's a nice wet.
Yeah, this one's probably a couple of days away from ready. Just trying to find the head, but I might just leave it alone. So suck there.
He's himself in the right knot.
He's well buried.
That's his head there, isn't it? That's the back of his head you're touching there. Yep.
Yep. He's got his head
buried in the sack there, yeah.
Get your nose out of there, mate. That is not the place to bury it. There you go. Just there will be just fine. We'll open up that sack for him. Whoop.
Stay there, little fella.
Oh, look at that.
To the world, little fella.
His first breath, he'll start flicking the air. Good strong snake, head straight up.
Yep. He's happy. He was lost and buried in there for a bit.
Yes. They worry me, those ones. I can't find the head. I'm like, what are you doing in here, snake?
Also, I'm in trouble unless these three are all granites. Jared, how far off is the granite cross pepper clutch? Daz, mate, he's knocking on the door. When did I say the lay date was, Brent? I think it was the 16th of the 9th. So it's in a it's on one of the lower shelves in the incubator. I've actually, now that I've had a couple of things hatch, I've moved them down a little bit lower while I wait till I have their sheds, and I've moved that clutch up the top. I looked at it just before we came on here, but no pips yet. So I imagine it's not very far off.
Not quite
I keep
ready.
looking at it, but it doesn't speed it up. I keep trying.
It won't go. You're in a spot of bother here, Daz, because 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 wildies.
That's what I said. The next three have to be granites.
Pretty much to get a tie. So can you go 3 from 3, Daz?
Yeah, I can do it. I can do it. And it's destroyed in the first egg.
I can't. I kind of hope you do. I'm happy with the draw at this stage.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I'll take the win. It'll get us back to square because I'm already down 1. So, the dream's still alive for you, Daz. You still a chance.
There's still a chance. All right, someone in the chat, pick which one of the 2 eggs that are left. One closest to Brent or furthest away?
Closest to scissors or away?
Closest to scissors or away. First one to mention it gets the pick of the eggs.
Granite.
It better be a granite. I'm going to be angry with you.
Jared went for all wild types. That's nasty.
Oh, Marcus, mate, was the first one through. Away from the egg. Yeah.
Away it is. Hey, that was close.
It was.
Mitch
they all come through at the same time.
Really second behind on the feed.
If you have a look at it, there was 2 messages come through. Marcus and Mitch Hines all come through at the same time.
Yeah, but in the feed.
Fraction of a second.
Yep, Marcus slipped in just in front on the order.
Well, I hope you got it right, Marcus. I hope you got a granite on this one. It's all over for me.
Thanks for the bottle, Daz. Appreciate it.
Now we're even now.
Well,
no bottles aside.
Yes. I'll take my bottle I owed you and go and drink it.
Drink it, yeah.
Nice little Wildy. He's up top ready to roll.
Yeah. Look at the head contrast on that.
Yeah. Bit of variation.
Yeah.
He's done. Obviously, all these will be 100% het albino, but all these things will be POS head. No, they won't. They'll all be het granite. They have to be.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But all POS head albino, though.
Yes. That's what I said. The albino will be 100% at granite.
Yes, yeah, but the wild types will be definitely
100% granites.
Het granites, but POS head, 66 POS head for albino.
Albinos. Jared, no, in the Granite cross pepper clutch. Not sure what you mean, mate. No, not in the. How far off is the Granite cross pepper clutch?
That's the one we're talking about.
Yeah. Another Wildy.
Another Wildy, mate. Wildy for the finish.
It's the 50 odds, bro. Where are
Good
they?
thing you didn't need that to finish, eh?
Hey?
What a mess.
What a mess. Oh, well.
I don't complain with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 granites and 1 albino granite is not to be sneezed at.
Yeah.
It is a fine looking bunch.
Chris is asking what the rough price for a granite is. Would you prefer him to just message you for that sort of information, Brent?
Yeah, pretty much. Look, I don't know. Don't know how much we should say. Facebook gets it funny about selling animals, but we're not selling animals here. We're just discussing the market.
Price guide, then. Maybe just we reference it as a price guide.
Yeah, anything price wide. In the past, normal granites 2.5. Some of the head albino stuff 3.5. Albino granites have been very expensive because I've only sold a few, like 3 over the past 3 years, like 1 a year. I didn't really want to put too many of them out there, but they've been sort of way up there. So not a cheap little toy. Here's something interesting, Daz. Check out this on one of the wild types. The joys of breeding.
Oh, there we go.
You see the head on that?
It's almost like a twin head. Like it got almost looks like it's got one attached to the other side sometimes.
Yeah.
There you go. Deformity.
Very, very sad looking lump on the side of a head. I don't know what's going on with that. I've not seen that in any of these clutches before. But
it can happen in anything, mate. I remember talking to Scott Iper, and I think I showed you he had a whole heap of, just wild type adders that had all sorts of deformities.
Yep, definitely.
I'm not sure. I can't remember what acanthus they were. Whether it was Potaticus or something or other. They're just common death adders, but they're all sorts of deformities, and that's just in all type animals. So it's just like anything, something goes wrong in that development stage, and that's what happens. So
the most extreme oddball stuff I've had, pure Bradley clutch, one with the entire brain exposed, bulging out of the top of the heel, top of the skull. And jungle clutches, some zebra stuff, pure like zebra jungle stuff, but just some weird extreme level kinking and
it happens.
Horrible looking things out of some zebra clutches.
Remember that one Deb Larks had the exposed heart. Dunk, dunk.
Yes, yep.
It just happens in anything and everything, deformities. So
they can happen.
I'm with you, Jared. So Jared's saying all wild type in that clutch is my bet in terms of the Granite cross pepper.
Oh, sorry. Yep. Now we're with you, Jared. Sorry, we're a bit slow.
Yeah, we're not the fastest in there, I think. Yeah, I agree, mate. I'm 99.9% positive. They're absolutely nothing to do with each other. There's so many similarities, but there's so many differences if you actually see both up close and have a good look and nitpick. So, I imagine, pretty much I'd probably be answered with the very first one that we pick. If it comes out wild type, well, it's pretty much going to be the answer.
It's kind of got to be.
Yeah, it has. So, but anyway, we'll have to wait and see. Can't wait, and then obviously it's another couple of years, 2-3 years down the track before we'll see the results of those two genes combined.
Before I can hit the odds and get one out for us, because Daz is like with these double head things.
Well, I'll have plenty of clutches. They'll just be wild type, and Brent will get all my ones, all my pepper granite versions that I should be getting. Brent will have them all.
Dad's great at making these double head and fancy head combos for me. I'm just good at getting it done.
He just gets the numbers out. Yeah. So, switch to this great street gear, but don't worry, Daz. I lost as well. Fuck it, mate. How much have you had to drink now?
Shots. That should be, what was that, 9 shots or something? That's going to be a messy.
Yep.
The second egg cut's going to be a blur.
I reckon. So David Avery was asking, what was the final breakdown, mate, on the albino and wild type, etc. in that last clutch? What did we end up with? You know, like
have a look. I just put them back in, but it was 8 granites, 1 albino granite.
1 albino, yeah.
So that makes 9, and then in the albinos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 albinos.
That's all right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wildies. So, that's all right. That's pretty close to the numbers. It's not too far off. A little short on granites, but an albino granite, which is very good. Always nice.
Definitely. Yeah. If you're albino 100% hetch, which is nice as well.
Yep, always handy animals. They make.
Wonder if it'll be a male genitalia fest at your place this year again, like it was at 19 yours last season.
You get that with some clutches. They just haunt you with pathetic sex ratios, extreme level, wrong way. Too many boys, not enough girls, but no, you can't choose it all, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. So Mick Lewis says, you're letting all your clutches pit first, or you're cutting some on amount of days incubating? No, mate, we only pip the eggs once the snakes have pipped, as you can see there with the one Brent showing. We wait till the first snake pips before we cut the eggs. So
most of these have got some slashing away on them.
So I know some people say cut it this day and all that sort of stuff, but there's so many variables that can go at play. The fact where you've got it on the shelf in the incubator, if you've got a full, commercial fridge size incubator, that a couple of degrees variation from the top shelf to the bottom shelf can add a few days to the hatch time here. A day that's cooler versus a day that's hotter. All these influences on the egg temperature will affect how long they incubate for. So, it's best off just waiting until they pip, as Brent was just showing you, and then feel free to pip the rest of the eggs. But I've never ever cut eggs ever on a day it's supposed to hatch because of those temperature variations you will get, which will affect the incubation time. So I just wait till I see the first one gone and then into it. So what's this clutch, mate?
This is the was Posshead albino Posshead granite, but what do you know?
It's no longer a Posshead. See, typical, straight out, first egg, bang, granite.
First egg.
That looks deformed, mate. That one.
It's folded harshly over on itself. It might be a stuck together weird thing by the look of it.
Yep, it is. I can see it.
It's a granite, but it's very, very twisted up. You can see that back end there where it's done a full 90-degree wrap around.
Yep.
Another weirdo.
Mate, it's just the way it goes. I've seen it in all sorts of stuff, as we were just saying. Yeah,
proves it out, though, so we're on a winner.
Yeah. Like I said before we even started, it's not a Posshead. It's yours. It'll be 100% it.
I shouldn't have bet on that because you would have probably taken that anyway.
Well, my bet was that it would prove out to be granite, so I win.
Holy dooly.
He's ready to come. Look at that. Look at that's a nice colour in that.
Colour on the head of that.
He's like glowing.
And no caramel or hypo in this.
No.
I think, what is this? Granite jag. Yeah, big sack.
Just send me albino, Posshead granite, cross granite jag, head albino.
Granite jag. Yeah. I think that's just the IJ influence in that, but the head on that is insane colour. What'd you head up there?
Yeah, nice.
Very bright.
Yeah, beautiful. Very nice.
Hey there, fella. You're not ready to be out yet.
So Daniel David's asking, what's the best temperature for newly hatched Darwin pythons? Well, it's pretty much all pythons as a general rule. Brent, what do you do?
Pretty much same as you incubated them. So if you're cooking them at 30 or cooking them at 31 or 32, then I tend to leave them exactly at that for the next week or so in the incubator under exact same conditions as they've been accustomed for the past 60 days.
Yep. I normally do a similar thing. I normally leave them in there until they shed. Once they shed, I then move them into a hatchy tub, which I will run hot ends, which is directly above the heat cords, normally around 34. And then obviously the cool ends ambient. and I find that helps fire them up and get them munching. Another nice albino.
That's the big one, buddy.
It is. I was going to say, might move that close. Is that Granite? It is too. Yeah.
Granite, albino Granite Jaguar.
Oh, it's the triple bang. Very nice.
Yep. Very nice.
There's a money winner there. There's not many of those around that exist, is there, mate?
No, it took me. That was the one that haunted me for years. Actually, that might not even be a Jaguar. There's a fair bit of banding on the back of that. That might just be albino Granite. That head looked very Jaguar when it popped up, but now looking at that base of the body section there.
Yep.
Possibly just albino Granite. Make sure the top of your head there, mate. I'll be keen to see him out and have a good look at that. I think probably just albino Granite though.
Yep. Still a winner.
Yeah, beautiful animal. So orange on top too. That head colour's pumping.
Yep. Katie Gordon says, well, if you don't want it. Oh, you've left a few dots there in a smiley face. Is that supposed to be send it to Daz, Katie?
Fill in the blanks.
Yeah. Can go in the rack next to the albino peppers.
Yes, good combos.
Yeah.
And the
Marcus,
albino.
mate, we'll message for more info on that one, please. Yep. Message away. There's just a normal one.
There's a beautiful albino. And look at the orange on that too.
Orange in the head. I like the markings too. There's quite a bit of contrast, so to speak, in the markings.
Really neat.
I need to just set my camera up to be able to show them. They look really good now. We've got a little bit of that camera sorted.
And now we've got the right light, the right distance, a bit of focus happening.
Yep.
Yeah, weird contrast. I love that banding. It's almost perfectly uniform. Very nice, very nice. Loving the colour. The colour on these things are mental.
Yeah. Very nice. What's it gonna be?
What's coming next?
That looks look at that head pattern. That's got to be an albino Granite Jag, isn't it?
That is, yep. That head pattern, definitely.
Wow.
And now looking at the sides, you can see down the side of the neck on that. I don't know if you can start to see that pattern.
Yep, broken up.
Very broken and scattered. They get a weird, sort of speckled sort of pattern down the sides on it, which is it's hard to see at this stage, but they almost patternless on the side. If I turn that around,
yeah, there's nothing.
You really can't see a lot because they basically end up with a bit of a dorsal line and a couple of little sort of lightning strike marks down the side.
Yep.
Elizabeth
said, "I'll take that one."
That's a crack at that one. That's the top of the line for this clutch.
Definitely. They got two decent ones out there. Well, they're all decent, but the albino Granite and the albino Granite Jag got to be a win.
Yes.
I think what I might do is just send my clutches to you
in entirety.
Yeah, I'll get all the eggs and then I'll just send all the clutches to you. Look at that.
Yeah, I'll snip them for you, mate. No worries. I'll just charge a fee.
What's the fee? Whatever I want out of the clutch.
first pick of the litter or something's the rules, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Katie Gordon, have we played with Granite Cross Zebra yet, Brent?
Mate, I tried for a couple of years and gave up. I didn't have much success in getting a couple of pairings. I tried to go that way. So I kind of handed off the baton to, oh God, they're coming from everywhere now. I kind of palmed that off to other breeders that sort of pushed further down that line. I think it's a good program. I think some of the stuff you see in Granite Zebras, absolutely stunning. Super Zebras, Granite mixed in. There's some beautiful stuff out there. I'm not a big fan of just your standard, jungle line Granite stuff. They get very heavy in pattern. Look more zebra jagish even without jag in them. And I prefer the wild type Granite exploded look, more like the IJ look.
Yep.
I think the key to it will be mixing in some Caribou, mixing in some Super Zebra, and certainly getting that double, Zebra Granite. That's where the magic will come.
Yeah. Like a bit of line breeding, a bit of working to get the desired traits.
Yep. Z-Mac, Emma and Zach got some fantastic clutches up there. They've done a fair bit of work. They were one of the early people into some of the Granites from the Hustler line.
Yep.
And they will have some monster clutches popping out, which will produce some absolutely stunning animals in time. I like that albino Granite. He's nice.
Yeah, that's a nice. I really like the markings on that.
Yep. That's one that's going to be a nice, really exploded look. You can sort of tell already.
Yeah.
It's faint on the sides. If you look at the edges of it.
There'd be some nice contrast in the patterning.
Yeah, some nice colour. Stay in there, fella. I've lost track of what's going on over here this side. I don't know what that is.
Anything that's albino is mine.
Oh, yellow to Daz. Albino. Maybe we're kicking butt on albino stuff at the moment. Is that 1, 2? Is that albino? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last 5 albinos and one brown one. Going strong on Team Albino.
Yeah. Those terrible odds, mate. I don't know how you do it with all those terrible odds.
It's not always this good, trust me, but I take it when it comes, because you have some horrible ones sometimes that make you hate life. So when these good ones come with lots of albinos like that, you take it and run. Like that clutch we cut last year of Granite Max from the head-to-head Mac pairing and 9 eggs and 1 visual. Sometimes
the very last one.
Yeah, sometimes they're very unkind. This, I'd like to see the head on this.
Yeah, so it doesn't show much pattern, but that could just be because of the camera angle and stuff.
Yeah, it's very not much pattern at all, which sometimes leads to Granite Jaguar. Still very wet. I don't want to totally piss it off. There we go. There's the head back there. Nope.
Doesn't want to play ball.
No, I'll leave that. It's wet enough to need a couple of days anyway, so I won't force it. Can't tell. It's albino something. I think either albino Jaguar or albino Granite Jaguar. Just chuck in the albino Jaguar for now.
A big posh snot on the table, isn't that lovely?
It's beautiful, isn't it? I love the smell of it. I know that sounds bad, but it's this time of year, that album smell, sensational. Something, I don't know, your brain must link it to hatchies, eggs, because other people come in here that aren't snake people and family and stuff. They sniff it. Well, what's that? That's rotten. And I'm like lathering it all over me, like, oh, it smells beautiful.
Yeah, love it. Go to have a bath.
Yeah, something in your brain tells you that it's good. You do love the smell, and as soon as the season's over, that's the smell that I already miss. Oh yeah, that's albino J.
Yeah.
No Granite in that, I don't think. That's just
albino J. Yeah.
Yep.
Is what I said.
Nice. I thought you slipped in a Granite there, getting excited.
No. Oh, you can see the pattern quite.
Your eyesight's working well.
Yeah, for a change.
Now we got a camera that can focus. It makes it easier for you on the other side there.
It does.
Flying blind. Is that a wild type? No, that's a ghost, mate. We'll get it sorted eventually.
Yeah, you can send someone over with eyes that work.
Oh, a brown one. Oh, probably a nice brown one too. The Granite Jaguar.
Yeah, Granite Jag, yeah.
That's fairly dark too. That's they're quite often a fair bit lighter than that when they hatch.
Yep.
That one very, very dark on top.
Yeah, I'd be interested in trying to get those dark ones and throw it in the albino to try to increase that orange and contrast and stuff.
See if it lights them up, yeah.
Yep.
Possible. Stay in, boy. Not time yet, mate. He's close to ready, though.
It's like, no, you've opened it up. I'm on my way.
Yep, some of them are like that. They just go, cool, let's go. All right, 4 to go. We nearly smashed through this bunch. It was a decent collection tonight.
Plenty of albums in the cox, that's for sure.
Some days it just happens. And what do you know? Here's another one. And with the extra gene as well.
The triples that are Albino Granite Jag?
Just Albino Granite.
Albino Granite, yep.
Yep, you can see on the sides there.
Oh, yep.
Fair bit of marking and just the standard light granite pattern down the side. Doesn't always show up that when I turn around this way, you'll see better.
Oh, yeah, that's better. Yep, see it there.
So you can sort of see they're like little fine lightning strikes
lines,
almost down the side, very hazy edging. It's hard to. It took me a while to work it out. In the early days when I hashed them, I was like, I got no idea what this is, but you can sort of pick it head pattern too. You already got that broken up head pattern where a normal albino will have a very, very solid head. That's a Jaguar. If I had a normal albino here, it would help.
Oh, it must be terrible not to have a normal albino.
Shocking, sorry. But just to show you the head, like the heads on them are just, they're just a very solid pattern. So we might pull one out of one of these last ones so we can have a look at.
Yeah. So Katie says, I think I just love the plain granites. The slightly purple colour has me captivated. Yeah, well.
Absolutely. Oh, man, this is Albino Granite Central here.
Bloody hell. You just rub some of that luck on over here.
It's a good one. It's a very good one.
Wow.
And this is why I don't do albino granite, because you don't want, 5, 6, 7 in a season, but
yeah,
sometimes
you just get what you're given.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do a clutch and get 25, it's
not good for everything.
Nah. Always a bit of variety in the clutches is nice.
Yeah, it's got some nice contrast in that one too.
Yep, we'll show those at the end. It's the few that are there are very, very varied. Nice little mixed bag.
Andrew Townend, have you repeated the pairing that produced the chimeras in the past this season, Brent?
Sure have, mate. It's this is clutch number 3. The one we cut before was clutch number 5, and the chimeras are clutch number 4, right in the middle. So they probably due in a couple of days, I think. It's very light. Same deal as that other one. I don't really want to mess with it too much.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. There it is. Oh, man. It is too.
Jesus, the Albino Granite Jag, is it?
Yep.
You
see his head there?
Yep. There we go. That's it. There's a little bit of reflection on there from the album, but yeah. Wow.
Still got the sack
over it. What a clutch.
What a clutch. Hang on, I'll take the sack over his head. That might be better.
There we go. Yeah.
Definitely picked that pattern straight away.
Yeah, the pattern's quite funky, isn't it? Very nice.
Kicking butt on this. That's very good odds.
Geez, you think?
What was this? Albino?
Double hit Albino Granite over a hit. Double hit Granite Albino over a Granite hit Albino.
Yeah, proved double head now. Double head. Oh, yeah, Granite J. There should be a few there.
Oh, really. Hang on. Sorry, it was the Albino Posset Granite across the Granite Jag head Albino. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong ones. Sorry.
So, one visual. I suppose Granite Jag and, visual Albino. So that's why we're getting so much of the fun stuff. We've got a visual on either side, and they're both proven to be head for each other. Well, the one I knew, the other one has proven itself out to make a very nice clutch of a lot of visual stuff.
Chris Sankey says he senses a kookaburra coming along with all these albino granites.
Mr. Sankey will be doing another painting or two after this clutch for my wife, who does love his artwork. If you want some of the best artwork, Chris probably doesn't want to plug because he's very busy and booked out forever, but he is the man as far as tattoo work goes, and he's beautiful studio he's got set up down there for both art exhibitions as well as some painting stuff. He's got some incredible artwork coming through his place down there now. That's another albino granite.
So that's the last one.
That's the last one. Yeah. Oh. One of these might be yours, Daz. It seems like there's enough.
Yeah, I reckon.
So yes, Mr. Sunky, find a kookaburra, start painting. Where's his head? Still fairly wet, this one. Might leave him be, but that pattern on the side is definitely albino granite. Around there.
Yeah. Very cool. Crazy odds. Stuart Gamble says, far out, lucky I didn't bet on that. What a clutch. Mate, I don't think either of us could have gambled and got that anywhere near correct.
No, that was a wild ride. Whoever's having shots for granites is going to be absolutely ruined. They're probably off air by now.
Lucky I'm drinking coffee tonight, not beer.
So, fine looking bunch. Let's see what we got there. Albino granite.
Jared reckons he'll take one because Christmas is just around the corner.
It's not far, mate. It's not far at all. Depends if you've been a good boy or not.
Yeah, and whether you shout yourself a Christmas present.
Swap for 3,600 rodents or something, yeah.
3,600 extra large jumbo rodents.
Yes. And then albino, don't know. Sunglow jag. And Mongol granite, so...
You just mean albino jag, not a sunglow jag?
Sorry, albino jag, correct. So the one granite that's not looking real good, one granite jaguar, 2 of the albino granite jaguar, 5 of the albino granite.
5, bloody hell.
And look at the variation in these colours. Let me try and pick up 3 without dropping them.
Yeah, the pale one isn't closest to you there.
Yeah.
One on the right's almost got like a, high contrast zebra type pattern to it.
Yep. Type pattern, variation in colour to the extreme. Very odd.
Yeah.
Bit of a mixed bag, and then a bunch of funky albinos with contrast.
It's nice to see just the polygenic variation within them.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this one here is. Could be just an albino jag, but certainly albino jag on the left. They're very different. So
which is our right looking at that. Yep.
How's the odds though, Daz? 4, 5, 6, 7.
Pretty
8.
poor for you, mate. Like honestly, you I would have expected something better, but for you, for me,
11,
wow, it would be mind blowing.
11 out of 13. Is that enough albinism for the clutch?
I reckon.
Oh. Not an entirely
That's awesome. Mick Lewis, good on you boys. Thanks for taking your time out to do this for everyone. Know you must be busy. Top work. Thanks, mate. Yeah, it's like we just want to show people the reality. You hear so many people going, all this perfect this and perfect that and hatch perfect, all this sort of stuff. And the reality of it is that that's not always the case.
Nope. Breeding stuff has its ups, has its downs. Like you say, you're happy to take those wins when they come because there's other clutches that turn into a bunch of rubbish in the bin, and lots of tears and heartache when things don't hatch that you want to hatch, or you miss odds year after year, deformities or bad eggs. Just
slugs, eggs go off.
Right from the start of the season, you just don't get a clutch. Nothing.
Yep. So just the way it goes. So we just nothing's edited, nothing's cut and swapped, changed, and everything. It's like it's live. So what we discover, what comes, and as you saw, there was a couple of deformities there, which can happen with anything. It's got nothing to do necessarily with the genetics. It's just the way things are. It can happen with anything. So, but I know there's a lot of people out there that don't want people to know that stuff can happen. So you never hear about those. Oh, 100% hatch rate, 100% hatched, yeah, because all the other ones I've thrown in the bin. So, and 100% of what's left hatched. So, not everyone's like that, but there are people that are like that. So we just try to, whatever hatches, we cut it live. So there's no use buts or maybes, eh?
No, mate. What comes, it comes. It's that's nature. You can't control it. So I always write down how many eggs are laid, how many slugs there was, and then ultimately how many hatchies actually got out of the egg and going. And it's it's rarely 100%. It's rare you get a full clutch without slugs that all eggs go the distance, all hatch and all eat, and turn into a hatchie at 10 feet. It's the absolute minimal percentage of times. So.
I don't think, in over 20 odd years of doing this, I don't think I've ever had a season where everything is hatched. When I say that, I mean every egg that was laid was perfect. There's not a slug. Every egg goes to the full distance and you don't lose a couple on the way. I don't think it's ever, no matter what it was, even back in the days of breeding dragons and monitors and geckos and everything else, there's always something goes wrong and you can't control. It's nature,
not, mate. That's wild animals, mate. That's how it rolls.
Yeah, I mean we do what we can, obviously, but as I say, once you pair those snakes together and they start mating, it's out of your control.
Yeah. What happens in the egg happens in the egg. You can't control it. So.
Yep, the fertilization process and everything else through ovulation, all that sort of stuff. You can only do what you can to give that everything the best possibility of being healthy, but having healthy babies. So
give them the best conditions and hang on for the ride.
Yeah, that's right. Matthew Moffat, Snaky Claws delivery to Brizzy. How cool! Nice, guys. Corey Farr, weird season for me. No, not the only one, mate. It's not. I've had one as well. So
they come.
Yeah, pulling in. So what's he say? Weird season for me. Pulling another clutch of around 40 eggs tonight, and I've had 0 slugs. Last year was shocking from the same pairs. Mate, that's how it goes.
It happens.
I said to Brent tonight, my albino Darwins that have produced eggs year after year after year, one of the females dropped a pile of slugs this year. It's the first time ever in probably 10 years, I'm guessing now. Dropped 33 slugs. Yep. So, for whatever reason, it can happen. So
they just get it wrong sometimes. Nature doesn't always play kindly. Timing's wrong. Male wasn't quite right, and bang, out they come.
Yep. It's the joys and fun of breeding, I guess. You try to do everything right, but like I said, at the end of the day, once you've made that pairing and they've mated, it's all out of your control. You think you've got everything right, the female's right, conditions are right, everything's perfect, and then she doesn't breed at all, or then she drops slugs, or half a good clutch, half a bad clutch. Stuff goes off in the incubator. Got a couple of maternally incubated ones just up here that are going. Most of those clutches are going all right. I opened one up here the other day. Most of the eggs are good, but I've noticed there's a couple of eggs that have gone off. So there's one that's had 0 external influence in terms of being artificially incubated, and a couple of those eggs have just gone brown. So even though they started off nice and white, they've just gone off. So that's just how it goes.
Yep, they're not right inside. The process doesn't kick off, and you got yourself a moldy egg. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, that's right, Corey. That's the fun of it. Yeah, well, I suppose it depends what you take of it, doesn't it? You got that one clutch that you're dying to get, and then something goes wrong. And it's like, but it is. It's when you have the wins, like that last clutch you just did, Brent. Like, what a huge clutch! That's an awesome clutch.
Yeah, it's a solid effort. And like I say, mate, you take them and run and be happy because there's tears other times. So it makes those good ones even better because it doesn't happen like that all the time. So
yeah, that's it. So, but anyway, I guess it's hour and 10 minutes. We've done pretty good. I've tried to knock out all the questions as they came along tonight to try to keep it flowing rather than trying to scroll back and go duh. So
done well. We had a few to get through, so thanks for everyone sticking around. Plenty of white ones to snip through tonight.
Yep, that's it. Trent Humphreys, if your eggs are good, they will hatch. Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
What's not good goes off. Simple as that. So
not much you can do to alter it. You know, I see people trying to put powder on things and tape and glues and doing all sorts of things. If they're going bad, they're going bad inside out. You know, it's generally not external pressures that make them go bad. So you let them roll. You know, even in this, when I pulled it out, there was 3 absolutely putrid grey clumps of molten mash, like just absolute mess. You know, just sitting in the middle of these eggs. Fine, the rest of them all around it, perfectly happy and clean. You know, so.
Yep, same me. What the other day on clutch I got, which is all good. There was a few eggs in there, and I pulled them out. A couple have gone off, so they just got taken out. There's a couple I couldn't get out. We were talking about this the other night. You know, if they're a little bit too buried in, better off to leave them. And when that clutch eventually pips and hatches, be able to see that where they were just buried in the middle of the clutch, and I tried to see if they wiggle loose, but they're just attached to too many other eggs. And as I said, I don't want to go disturbing. I don't want to be squishing all the healthy eggs, causing a chain reaction. So I've just left them.
Yeah, so no point killing 6 eggs around it just to get one dead egg out. Like,
that's exactly right. Yeah. Corey, great show, guys. Thanks, Corey. So just trying to share and help out people. So if you ever got questions when you're watching, just ask away. We'll try and answer them as best we can. You know, if we don't know, we don't know. We just try to answer it. Don't know everything.
Darren will just make something up.
Good. It flows. It's like barley belly. It just flows.
It's just pumping.
Yeah. But anyway, well, I suppose you should cut it off there, mate, because I know you've got a busy day and got to get to work early. So, Brent, if people are interested in getting any of your animals, where do they find you, mate? How do they contact you?
KHP Reptiles on Facebook, webpage as well, www.khpreptiles.com.au. You can shoot me a message through the webpage. Most people come in through Facebook. Seems to be the place most people find me. You're Brent Smith on Messenger. What about you, Mr. Morelia?
Yep, Morelia by Design on Facebook, Instagram, and message me on there or on my page, Darren Whitaker. So we always get back to you. So sometimes we get a little bit slow, we get tied up. You know, we do have lives, so we do try to message when we can and when we've got some time. So flick a message, flick questions. We're generally happy to help in any way we can, and just be patient. Sometimes we can get sometimes we're busy doing our own things, and we can't all. Sometimes you might see the message and just don't have the time to give a response. I've actually got a couple there which reminds me I've got to respond to. But we'll always get there. So, But anyway, thanks, guys. Appreciate everyone tuning in and watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. We will be back hopefully soon with that pepper granite clutch.
Yes.
So keep an eye out for that. And that should be a good one. It'll be a very quick one, I'd say, because it'll be cut the first egg and see what comes out of it.
Celebrate our coro or whatever we're going to do, whatever it is. But hopefully we get a bit of time, a bit of notice on that one. It'll be nice if we had a little bit of, heads up through the day so we know what's happening. But I'm sure you'll be stalking that incubator for the next few days and we'll know.
I'm not sure how many times you can look at it, but it's a lot.
You're doing an Emma's egg, staring at it all day.
Yeah. Cut the egg. Yeah, that's it.
Come to me.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll see.
That's it. All right, guys. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you on the next one. See you all soon. See you, mate.
Cheers.